If you were born like me, your first memory would be the weight. Not a toy, not a name, a weight as big as the desert. They stamped a number on my life before they gave me a name. They made me useful. They made me invisible. This is the story of what it means to be born to live stone, to follow orders until your bones forget how to stand tall. I was 9 the first time I carried a stone. They took us at dawn and taught us how to pull the sled, how to breathe with the rope. They taught us not to look at the sky. The sun was not a blessing. It was a machine that pressed down and measured how much a body could give. 2-ton blocks became part of us. We learned to speak in the language of hauling, pull, rest, scrape. The desert sand got into our mouths, into our teeth. Bread was dry, water was warm, nights were the worst. The marks along my back would not let me sleep. They sang in the dark. Large limestone blocks were quarried and transported over long distances. Labor forces were organized in teams. By 19, my hands were maps of work. By 25, I counted the years not by birthdays, but by the lines that split my palms. We were not slaves in the fables. We were bound by hunger and law, by a system that needed towers of stone to speak to gods. There were small mercies, a laugh between men, a cup of cooler water hidden behind a rock. Once, a boy wept and an older man wrapped him in a blanket until he calmed. We kept each other's names alive in whispers. At 25, I tried to run. I remember the sun when it was cold that morning, a hard brightness. I ran half a mile, sand filling my mouth. The guards found me. They laughed and tied me, not for a day, but to teach the others. The desert will not hide you when the law smells you. They made sure I would never run again. Not with chains you hear clank, they used the body. My spine began to curve. The men who pulled the ropes grew smaller. The sun's fingerprints were carved into our skin. Punishments in ancient labor systems could be severe. Corporal measures enforced compliance. By 30, I could not stand awake for long. My back was a crooked map of years, but the pyramid rose. It rose like a promise someone else wrote. I touched the finished face once. Up close, stone is cold. Not the thunder you imagine when the world talks of monuments, but a quiet, indifferent thing. Who remembers us? The builders are dust in the wind that dances around these stones. But the stones remember what we fed them: sweat, bone, breath. If the pyramid is a song to a god, it is a song sung through cracked lips. If you were born like me, you would learn that the greatest weight is not the stone in your arms, but the years that press your back to the earth.